Hello and welcome to News Now. I am Fidelia Aguncha. There is good news for workers in the public and private sector as the Nigerian Senate has approved a sum of 30,000 naira as the new national minimum wage in the country. The lawmakers gave their approval after a report by its ad hoc committee on new minimum wage headed by Francis Alikena. The current minimum wage in Nigeria is 18,000 naira.
And I think 30,000 that is being recommended in this bill is very adequate, and every state can pay. This story where they keep saying that some states are not in a position to pay minimum wage, every time I had the opportunity to speak, I said that is not true. Judging from what we saw in about 2 or 3 weeks of election in Nigeria, shows clearly that the money available to state governments is enormous.
It is well known that even local governments, some local governments in this country today, have not been able to implement the 18,000 naira minimum wage. There are local governments that are still paying less than 10,000 as minimum wage. And if we want this law to be effective, we must ensure that this recommendation of putting in place a committee to look into the revenue sharing formula of this country is implemented with immediate effect.
There are government agencies that were set up in 1960 that have no value in a modern economy. These agencies must be scrapped. These agencies do not provide any service to a country like Nigeria in the 21st century. They serve no purpose. They are in the budget. They consume resources meant for development. These agencies must be scrapped.
Those in favor of that clauses 1, 2, 3 stands part of this, say aye. Those against say nay. Ayes have it.
Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has adjourned plenary for 2 weeks to allow its committees organize budget defense session for federal government ministries, departments and agencies. This was sequel to a unanimous adoption of a motion by the majority leader of the House, Femi Gbajabiamila, at a plenary on Tuesday. Heads of the MDAs are expected to appear before relevant committees to defend their budgetary proposal in the 2019 appropriation bill. The House has charged all standing committees to work and conclude budget defense before May to allow the swift passage of the bill. The lawmakers will now resume plenary on April 2nd, 2019. President Muhammadu Buhari has met with heads of security agencies in the country. The meeting, which held at the presidential villa in Abuja, is coming 4 days to the supplementary governorship elections in 5 states of the Federation. The agenda of the meeting, however, remains unknown as security chiefs refused to speak to State House correspondents afterwards. It had in attendance the Chief of Defense Staff, General Abayomi Olonishakin, the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, the Chief of Naval Staff, Ibok Ete Ibas, and the Director General of the Department of State Services, Yusuf Bichi. Other government officials in attendance include the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, the Minister of Defense, Mansur Dan Ali, and the National Security Advisor, Babagana Monguno. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has halted the collation of governorship election results from Tafawa Balewa local government area in Bauchi State. This is in compliance with an order by a federal high court in Abuja, stopping the commission from carrying out the exercise. The order is in response to an ex parte application filed by the All Progressives Congress and the incumbent governor of Bauchi State, Mohammed Abubakar. INEC had planned to continue the collation of results in the state after declaring the March 9 governorship poll inconclusive. But reacting to the court ruling, INEC resident electoral commissioner in the state, Ibrahim Abdullahi, said the body had received the court order and had stopped the collation process. He, however, disclosed that it will go ahead with the collation of State House of Assembly elections result for Tafawa Balewa, which was not affected by the court order. The People's Democratic Party and its candidate in the presidential election, Atiku Abubakar, has filed a petition challenging President Muhammadu Buhari's re-election victory. The opposition party is praying the tribunal to declare its candidate winner of the February 23rd poll on grounds that there was massive riggings, malpractices, and non-compliance with electoral laws during the election. In the alternative, the party urged the tribunal to nullify the poll and order a fresh election that will be conducted in line with the provision of the electoral laws. Speaking to journalists, the National Legal Advisor of the PDP, Emmanuel Enoidem, said the party has already assembled a powerful legal team to establish the fact of the petition.
We are here to present our petition, a joint petition between of PDP and its presidential candidate, and of course against APC and their presidential candidate, and then INEC, that was the manager of the elections. So the petition is due. The last date for the petition is actually tomorrow, but we decided to file it today. We ask that our candidate who won the election massively across the country be declared the winner of that election. In the alternative, we also ask that that election be set aside for irregularities that were very apparent all over the country. Those are the relief we ask in the alternative. We are very ready for this petition. The petition has been well packaged. The relief, the witnesses, the positions are all put together. More than 400 witnesses are going to testify in this petition. So we are very ready for this petition, and we are cutting. Our evidence is going to cut across the country of most of the things that you already know. The Nigerians are at home with the things that happened on the 23rd of February in this country, the sham that they call election.
We have up to tomorrow to file. We've been having some challenges in terms of cooperation from the INEC itself, in terms of assessing materials used during the election. But I believe we'll get there. Our petition is quite solid, very strong, unassailable, and we believe that by the grace of God, the true owner and keeper of the mandate we have his mandate given to him.
The Lagos State government has called on the owners of 149 structures marked for demolition to rebuild them immediately. In a series of tweets on Tuesday, the government noted that those who fail to comply with the directive risk forfeiture of such buildings. Well, this comes a week after a 3-story building collapsed in the Itafaji area of Lagos Island, killing 20 people and injuring 40 others. As part of measures to prevent a reoccurrence of the incident, Governor Akinwumi Ambode has ordered the demolition of over 80 buildings in the area. He has also asked residents to cooperate with relevant agencies and report locations of distressed structures in the state. Meanwhile, Lagos State Governor-elect Babajide Sanwo-Olu has promised to enforce proper building structures once he officially assumes office. Sanwo-Olu, reacting to the building collapse in Itafaji, described the incident as unfortunate. Speaking to State House correspondents after meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari, the governor-elect also spoke on his plans for Lagos State and residents in the state.
It's an unfortunate incident. Incidentally, when I was in government before, I used to be a vice chairman of the building collapse. It was something that were about 8-10 years ago, right, which was what led to us creating an agency which we call LABCA at that time, which was meant to begin to identify structures way ahead before issues like this happen. But it's an unfortunate thing, extremely very unfortunate, and it's not something that I would expect or would look to happening again. So I imagine the current government have started very quickly ensuring that they test the integrity of a whole lot of properties we have there. Lagos, it's part of the old colony of Lagos. So it's not unexpected that you see houses that are over a century old and in those numbers. But we need to be sincere to ourselves, and we need to be real and know that Lagos truly, really needs regeneration. So we've seen all of the challenges ahead of us, right? And we know that given all our strategy and the campaign trail, that we will certainly be bringing about solutions that will very, very quickly be looking at solving all of our various challenges in Lagos. We know that with a mega city of our status, it comes with a lot of challenges. But we're lucky that we've been part of it before now. And so we're excited that the solutions we're bringing up, right, that we've identified on the campaign trail will very quickly be able to bring about positive development that would improve the quality of life and ease all of the challenges that we currently have in Lagos.
Katsina State Governor Aminu Masari has pledged to improve health, education and security in the northwestern state as he assumes office for a second term. Masari said this while briefing journalists in Abuja after a meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari. He also revealed that more security officials have been deployed to the state to check the issue of insecurity.
We made promises to the people of Katsina State in 2015. They voted us on the basis of those promises, and we are happy to say that we have done more than 70% of what we have promised the people of Katsina State. So this time around, again, when we went round, we promised them that we will continue with the agenda in education, health, agriculture, infrastructure, security. And because of what we have done in the last 4 years, they believed us and they massively voted for us again. I think part of it is that I have seen some security chiefs, and before I leave Abuja again, I will see the IGP and the DGSS to further discuss and develop on what we are doing with the military and the people that are on ground presently.
A delegation from the United Nations and the European Union have visited the multinational Joint Task Force headquarters in N'Djamena, Chad, to proffer solutions on how to tackle the Boko Haram insurgency. Speaking during the visit, Special Representative Francois Fall thanked the force commander, Major General Chikezie Ude, for the successes recorded in the ongoing Operation Yanshin Taki, noting that the progress made so far is encouraging. He observed that the Boko Haram problem requires more than a military solution, stressing that there is need to also examine and address the socio-economic underpinning of the crisis. The force commander, in response, commended members of the delegation for the visit, noting that the fight against Boko Haram would not have been possible without the support of the international community. A coalition group is protesting over the attack on Kadru local government area in Kaduna State, which has led to the loss of lives and destruction of properties. The group took to the Unity Fountain in Abuja to express concerns over the siege on the community. They are also accusing the state governor, Nasir El-Rufai, of instigating a reprisal attack on the community.
Well, the killing started first on the 10th when villagers just woke up and then discovered that their loved ones were dead. And we didn't hear a word from government with regards to who was killed, with regards to some messages of hope and consolation to the communities. And then he reported a few days afterwards that 66 Fulanis were found dead. And then he also inferred that there could be reprisal after then. And that was just basically the genesis of the crisis.
We are here because we know a leader is a leader of the two parties. But by the time that we discover a leader is leading one party, that is where we have a problem. Yes. Particularly if you are talking about, it's not the issue of Adara now, but if you are talking about the Kaduna and what is happening in southern Kaduna, it's a blow. And it's like the leadership on seat are not leading the two parties.
The Nigerian Society of Engineers says the rising youth unemployment coupled with the skills shortage in Nigeria can be addressed if the government begins to give equal employment opportunities to female talent in the automotive industry. The group made the remarks in Lagos while examining the effects of gender discrimination in Nigeria's economy as it relates to auto-mechanical engineering. Speaking at the event, Odua Agboneni, the chief executive of Nenny's Auto Care, said female talent remains one of the most underutilized business resource, which if adequately harnessed, will reduce the rate of unemployment in Nigeria.
Presently, in the NERDC curriculum, technology trade subjects have been approved for it to be taught in secondary schools. But what we have these days is that we just have some few schools teaching it. At the end of the day, you see girls, they are being taught data processing, they are taught fishery. But what happens to auto mechanics? What happens to plumbing? What happens to electrical works, which is in the curriculum? So presently, we are working with Lagos State and we're working with Yaba local government area. What we want to do is, even as volunteers, assist in teaching these technology trade subjects So that at the end of the day, we know that this is a government intervention. We know that this is even for public schools, and it's done properly, and it should be implemented in other schools across Lagos State.
No, I think by now, all parents should be able to see clearly that there is no boundary to what women can do. That it's a question of availability, the opportunity, and the capacity. I think they should watch their children, anything, whether it's a girl or a boy. If the opportunity arises and there's the capacity and interest, they should just allow the child to go. Because the contribution that can arise from any individual, because he is doing what he is most capable of doing, because he is doing what he is interested in doing, is much, much greater than the contribution that can come from a child that is directed to do something that he may not be interested in.
Women in men-dominated jobs are carving a niche for themselves, standing out amidst stereotypical factors of the society. But this next report is a story of an exceptional traffic police officer who performs her duty with so much zeal and passion. Adisha Odushaga has more.
With a job that seems rather too mundane and stressful, this inspector's zeal for traffic management will change your mindset about traffic policing. Always seen wearing a smile, dancing and singing as she goes about her duty every day. A style of entertainment, coupled with the amount of energy and passion she brings to the job, will leave you no choice but to obey as a motorist.
Even inside my office, when I'm working, when I'm doing my job, I'm singing, I'm dancing. Even where I work for K2 division, they know me. When they know I'm singing, they say, yes, this outside woman don't come. So everywhere, even at their house, I'm playing, dancing, rejoice, singing song, appreciating my God.
She's the popular traffic police at the Maryland roundabout along the Ikorodu axis of Lagos, southwest Nigeria. Inspector Juma Ibrahim gives credits to the slogan, "The police is your friend," as she waves at commuters in cars, commercial bus drivers, Okada riders, and even school children. She shares how she started her career as a policewoman 18 years ago.
Before I joined the police, I want to be a nurse. But later, when I come see how police are doing it, and I don't even want to join police because that time I've been seeing some police, they are working with shoe, like they don't have money to even buy the shoe. Their trousers, you see patch, like monkey, nyash. I say, how can I join this job? But another man said I should join it so that they will see difference from me. That is why I have to join the police, and I'm enjoying it. And every day if I enter them, I can see myself different, the way I wish, and God help me.
Like many other women in men-dominated jobs, Jumai shares the stereotypes that comes along with this job.
You know, when you are doing it, some of them, they are not appreciating you. They be abusing you. Some they even call you a shower because you tell them to stop. They be abusing, causing you different. That is why I want to come out from here, because they are not appreciated person. No appreciation. For you to stop, they don't want to stop. Stop them, they go say them be soldier, them be army. Some they go say them be big man, they have money. They don't want to stop. And I then bring the law, and they don't want to obey the law.
But as much as she receives negative comments from some commuters, for every dark cloud they say comes with a silver lining.
The way I'm just doing my traffic, they have been praying for me, and that one they make me happy. Some they brought, there is one woman last 2 years, she bring wrapper, clothes. I can't need that, I've been thanking my God. And I get some people, they have been bringing gifts for me. They give me 7 awards, even Ambodi, Gomno. I never check hand with my Gomno for Gombe State. They bought me for Zamfara, but I'm the of Gombe State. I didn't check hand with anybody, any government, but Ambodi, I check hand with Ambodi. He give me award, he give me certificate, he give me check for money.
With the kind of zeal and passion she puts in the job, Juma inspires school children.
One of my baby, she said that she wants to join the police. So, and I know yes. Even here, small children, they have been telling me when they come out from their school, Auntie, we want to be a police. I said, don't worry, God will make it.
Standing out in this male-dominated profession has not been an easy task for these multiple award-winning traffic police. Despite a love and passion for this role, Jumai says she would like nothing more than to get promoted and empowered to make more impacting decisions in improving traffic management in Lagos and Nigeria at large. Adeshewa Dushoga, TV360 Nigeria.
Well, news now will continue in just a moment. Don't go away.
Corruption not in my country.
Madam, madam, welcome. Okay, madam, no worry. When you deliver the balance, we'll give you the goods.
No problem, no problem. All right, so now well done.
Thank you. Hey, Oga, I still say she don't bring money. Maybe we use this one for him now.
She wants mahogany, not white wood.
Oga, our work now to join wood together, deliver whatever to customer. Put the remaining profit for pocket.
This is corruption, not in my country. Corruption not in my country.
Stop corruption now.
Glad to have you back. Well, let's now shift our focus to the world of business, where Oyin Adekunle is standing by with details. It's over to you, Oyin.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, says it recorded a trading surplus of 12.13 billion naira in December 2018. In its monthly financial and operations report, NNPC stated that the profit was due to the positive swing to higher revenue numbers posted by its upstream subsidiary, the Nigerian Petroleum Development Company. It also cited the NPDC's continuous revenue drive arising from recent average weekly production of 332,000 barrels of oil per day as the main driver of the positive outlook. The NPDC targets 500,000 barrels per day production in 2020. The governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, says the recent measures announced by the Apex Bank to revive the cotton, garment and textile sector was well thought out to reposition the sector for job creation and economic growth. Emefiele was replying to the position of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, cautioning government over the restriction of foreign exchange for the importation of textile materials. The LCCI Director General Muda Yusuf had said that there was a need for strategic approach before such policy pronouncements should have been made. He had advised the federal government to reconsider the Central Bank of Nigeria's ban on forex to textile importers. Stock market review is up next right after this break. The much-anticipated rebound of the Nigerian equities market is not forthcoming as the market is yet to return to the positive territory. At the close of trading today, the all-share index further depreciated by 0.14% at 31,082 basis points. Similarly, the market's capitalization was also down by 16 billion to close at 11.591 trillion naira. Now let's look at the top four losers for the day. Nestle, Presco, Nigeria Breweries and GlaxoSmithKline. We can see that the market downturn was impacted by the losses recorded in the stocks of some consumer goods sector led by Nestle, and of course we see GlaxoSmithKline. Moving on, we also see that an appearance of the agriculture and health sector is also visible on this chart. That's Presco and and of course the GlaxoSmithKline, we see that they are both losing to the tune of 7 naira and 1 naira 5 kobo respectively. Moving on now, in spite of the negative performance, there were also gainers today. Some stocks managed to chalk up gains. Mobil recorded the highest price gain of 2.41%, I beg your pardon, to close at 166 naira per share. The financial sector also made a good show on the gainers chart, represented by Guarantee Trust Bank, EcoBank Transnational Incorporation, and FCMB Group PLC, chalking up gains equivalent to 4.10%, 2.22% and 6.67% respectively. Activity level at the market increased with the volume of shares moving up a little over 81 million. Today, investors traded 286.899 million shares worth 3.094 billion naira that exchanged hands in 3,924 deals, and that's actually a bit better compared to the total value of 1.925 billion that exchanged hands in 3,821 deals yesterday. On the global scene, yes, FTSE remains positive. Dow Jones is also rising, while Nikkei is down by 0.08% as Japan plans to clamp down on margin cryptocurrency trading. That's all on the stock market review today. It's back to Fidelia.
Thank you so much, Oyin, for that review. It seems NSE is now recovering from losses seen in the past 3 days. We hope for better productive day for investors tomorrow and subsequent days. Well, to the foreign scene, at least 2 people have died and dozens more are feared trapped under the rubble after a building site collapsed on Tuesday in India's southern Karnataka state. Rescue teams and ambulances were scrambling to Dawad district, roughly 700 kilometers northwest of the state capital, Bangalore, where the 5-floor building, which was under construction, crumbled. Building collapses are frequent in India, with a string of accidents reported in recent years. Critics say many private builders use inferior construction materials to cut corners on cost or bribe officials to bypass regulation. Last September, 5 people were killed after an apartment block collapsed in Delhi. Just months earlier, a 6-story building collapsed in the outskirts of the capital, killing 9 people. Well, police in Uganda say it is investigating a supply of food from the World Food Programme following the death of 3 people. The police in a statement said the people suffered from diarrhea, nose bleeding, and other health problems after eating food provided by the United Nations Food Agency. The food agency has also announced that it has suspended distribution of super cereal, a fortified blended food, at all its operations in Uganda. Samples of the food and patient urine and blood have been sent to a government laboratory for analysis. Extra samples of the cereal have also been sent to Kenya and South Africa for testing. The food was part of a community feeding program in the northeastern Karamoja region, a semi-arid area where the UN has long provided food aid for people facing poor harvests. And to the world of sports, Shanghai Shenhua of China striker Odion Ighalo has been joined by England-based duo of Arsenal's Alex Iwobi and Rotherham United Semi Ajayi, throwing open the camp of the Super Eagles in Asaba Delta State. Ighalo, Iwobi and Ajayi were the earliest arrivals at the Eagles' nest as the invited players began arriving for Friday's 2019 Africa Cup of Nations last qualifier with Seychelles. Friday's games at Stephen Keshi Stadium, Asaba, is a formality as Nigeria have already qualified Egypt's 2019, but Eagles coach Gernot Rohr called up his full squad for the dead rubber fixture. Apart from playing for pride and honor, Rohr says his squad will use Friday's game to kickstart preparations for the 2019 AFCON in Egypt, who they will also play next Tuesday at the same venue in a friendly. Well, that is our news now. Thank you so very much for watching. I am Fidelia Aguncha. Bye for now.